Plan.
Yes. My name is Timothy4. I'm an information management system major here at the university, and my health narrative today will be on kidney disease. So basically, before I kind of get into my subject, I kind of want to give some background information about the kidneys as itself. So basically, the kidneys, they help with preventing the backup of waste and all the bad fluids in our body. They help keep our electrolytes stable. They also make hormones that help. They help with the regulation of our blood pressure. They make red blood cells, and they help with our bones as far as how strong they are. So basically, this is some information about myself. When I was 11, I was diagnosed with Alport syndrome. So basically, Alport syndrome is a genetic condition that characterizes itself with kidney disease, hearing loss, and eye abnormalities. So basically, I have extra amounts of protein in my urine. So if you were to take a urine sample of somebody who's healthy, who doesn't have any kidney disease, and mine, my protein level is like hundreds, even like 1,000s, like greater than a healthy individual. Okay. Also, eventually, with progression over time, the kidneys they become less able to function, and as an end result, you possibly can result in end-stage renal disease. So, I kind of just want to give some of the causes of kidney disease. Leading causes. So, with 44%, diabetes is one of the leading causes. With 29%, high blood pressure. 7% familial diseases. 1.6% polycystic disease, and 18.4% other. So the other, what falls in the other is hereditary. So that's kind of where I would be. Because my family doesn't have a history of diabetes. I don't have diabetes or high blood pressure, so I'll fall into the 18.4% level. So next, I basically brought up a chart to basically give you a visual of where I would stand at with my chronic kidney disease. So basically, first I want to define what GFR means. It's basically the test to measure your level of kidney function and determine your stage of the kidney disease. So this is what the doctor did to me whenever I went and got diagnosed. So basically, I will be around this area with moderate, but I will be right here because my levels are right here. My levels is usually like 1,500. At some cases, like 1,800. Okay. So, and then furthermore, there's 5 stages of chronic kidney disease. So, for the most part, between stage 1 and stage 3, you may not, or you may see any signs. You may, for the most part, you may not. I know I didn't, and this is kind of where I'm at. I'm kind of in between stage 2 and stage 3. Okay, so stage 1, often no symptoms. Stage 2, protein in your urine. Stage 3, bone disease. Stage 4, you start to notice a lot of fatigue, swelling of the your body, nausea, vomiting. And stage 5 is kidney failure, which will require dialysis. Okay, so now I just want to give some statistics about kidney disease. It's the 9th leading cause of death in the United States. 9 out of 10 people who are in stage 3 are not aware of it, like I said previously. And African Americans are 4 times more likely to be at risk. Okay. So, with kidney disease, this is how it affected my life. So, for the most part, my family, well, the ladies in my family, they have been affected and they all have passed away from it. Okay. So it began with my aunt. When I was in early middle school, so I had to be like maybe like 10. So it started with her. She was actually in dialysis for a couple of years. So this was kind of something that we had gotten used to as a family. But what I did not see coming, and what my brother and the rest of my family did not see coming, was my mother kind of getting affected by it and becoming sick. It's kind of something that kind of happened out of nowhere, and usually like, when you know what somebody in your family's in like a bad position, you kind of like see it coming and you kind of predict the worst. Well, this was like the exact opposite. It's like one day we woke up and she just wasn't feeling good, and it went from like 0 to 100 as far as like how bad it was. So at the time we was living in Georgia. I'm originally from Georgia, so we was living in Georgia. So when it got really bad to the point where she basically, well, before I get into that, my mother was the type of person to put herself before a lot of people. So she put herself before, she put us before herself in a lot of cases, in a lot of instances. So the reason why I believe that it actually got to this point is because she thought about us, and we really didn't have anybody to go to, if anything were to happen to her. So she made the decision to go to New York with her mother and her dad stayed. So basically on the road, we drove, we kind of packed everything else in the car, everything we had in the house, and we made our way towards New York. However, on the way, she passed out on the road in South Carolina, in Manning, where I spent, most of my years up to graduation. So she passed out on the road there with a state trooper. State trooper came to the car and everything. Me and my brother, we were sleeping at the time, so we really didn't know. So we woke up and we were just in the middle of the road. Okay, so from that point, me and my brother went through like the legal system, and while she was, getting care in the hospital, we was like, in the like legal system as far as like where we can stay, as far as like that. So ultimately, we was assigned a house to stay, with a family to be with. And probably maybe like a couple months after that decision was made, she passed away. Okay. So, like I said, it wasn't anything that I foresaw in my eyes. So, and then maybe a year and a half later, my grandmother died of the same thing. So, chronic kidney disease does run in our family. Okay, so, all right, so basically, the transition that was made personally on my part, I became more aware of my health. But most importantly, I took education way more importantly than I did. I decided to focus on my education because I saw that was the only way out of a situation that was not relatively good in my eyes. I focused on my time. I decided that, since sometimes you can't really tell what's going to happen in life, so you have to be able to take advantage of your time 24/7. So I try to make the most of my time. Ultimately, I consider myself a strong individual, basically be able to put through this, and I've still, stayed on the right track. I still was able to do a lot of things that, that's expected of you as far as going through school and continue to further education at a university or college. And that's what I did. So my takeaway message is to not look at every obstacle and hindrance and use it as an excuse not to be successful, not to do what you're supposed to do. Because that's not what I did. I was faced with trials and tribulations, and I still was able to make, a decent person of myself. So.